Potential lifeline for farmers struggling to make ends meet. Just moments ago, President Trump announced a new $12 billion aid package called the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program that would distribute one-time payments worth $11 billion to crop farmers and another $1 billion to farmers whose crops fall outside the program's parameters. The bailout comes as many farms are getting crushed by rising costs and plummeting prices brought on by Trump's trade wars. Bankruptcy filings have seen a steep increase this year after years of trending downward. Today, after nearly a year, the president blaming his predecessor for the current issues facing farmers.
In the last year, Biden bankruptcies rose by 55%, having to do with farms. So farm bankruptcies under Joe Biden went up 55%. That's not good. But now we're once again in a position where a president is able to put farmers first, but unfortunately, I'm the only president that does that.
Joining us now, the president of the National Black Farmers Association, John Boyd Jr. John, thank you so much for being with us. So how is this $12 billion bailout potentially going to help you?
Well, first, I want to comment on the president. He said something about all this happened on the Biden administration, which is totally false. Agriculture in this country has been in a complete turbulence and turmoil in this country since the president got elected. He didn't talk about farm suicides, farm bankruptcies, farm foreclosures, are all up under his watch. And I want to remind the president that we're in the position that we're in such a bad, devastated position in this country because of his tariffs. So I wanted to clean that up from just listening to his comments. And what the president's been talking about is something he talked about back in October. This isn't something new. It's just something that the farmers have not received. And I just done a little reading on this, and it said this proposed $12 billion will not reach farmers until February. And we need the aid now. We was promised the aid back in October. He said he couldn't do it because the government was shut down and all of these things. He had a meeting today with farmers at the National Black Farmers Association with our 150,000 members, wasn't even invited to, and we're farmers too.
I wonder what it means for you in practical terms that money's not going to get here not going to get to you at least until February.
Well, we're in trouble here, and my farm is no exception. During that whole government shutdown and during the issues with the tariffs and China not buying soybeans from the United States, I had to stop harvest. When I should have been completing harvest, because the grain elevators was not taking soybeans. I don't have storage capabilities on my farm, so I was out there in limbo. And while the grass is growing, the cows are starving. I was losing income because the soybeans began to pop out of the pod. These are things that I can't correct, but we were looking for this revenue back in October, and I would like to hear more clarity about how the farmers are going to actually receive this money in February. And we want to make sure that all our members are at the table, get invited and actually receive some of this $12 billion that the president is talking about.
The Ag Secretary, Brooke Rollins, has said that this is really just a bridge to help farmers like yourself get through the next few months, and that something more substantial will come down the road. I wonder what you think is needed and how soon you think they'll actually get it in front of you.
Well, the first thing that is needed is a complete farm moratorium. No American farmer in this country should be losing their farm because of the inactions or the wrong decisions that this administration has made in the form of tariffs. We shouldn't be penalized being at the farm auction block because of the president imposed tariffs. So that's the first thing that should happen. And, they're saying this is a bridge. A bridge to where? Who's going to receive the money? That's the questions that we have, and we haven't heard it real clearly from this administration, because at first they said it was $15 billion back in October, and now it's down to $12 billion. And the monies I received, I'll be honest with you, was $1,800, which is enough to buy a ton of fertilizer during the last payout. So it wasn't a whole lot to help my farm, but hopefully it helps some other farmers out there. But this administration has to do better, and it has to do better by making sure that all farmers in this country receive some help, not just certain farmers here that are at the table. Some farmers have to look like me, and they say all this stuff about DEI and all of these things. None of that takes place on my farm. I had to go out and feed my cows this morning. They didn't ask me what color I was or where I was getting help from. I have to be able to make it and compete out here on the farm like everybody else. It has nothing to do with color, but this administration is leaving us out. When they have meetings at the table, we're not invited. And they say because we have, primarily an organization that represents Black farmers. And I think that's, very appalling in this country.